Okay, almost forgot sauce for Zwift. Welcome to my race. This is the NYC Showdown. I am racing on the Times Square circuit. This is a pretty cool race. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I certainly did. I'm going to tell you about what happened going into this race and some of the mess ups that, popped up along the way. What the? My shoe keeps coming out. Okay, so that was just one of the problems. My shoe kept popping out of the clip. So just things like that happened in this race. I actually went into the pen with the wrong bike, had to adjust it. Zwift tried to adjust it for me and gave me the Zwift steel bike. That wasn't going to work and changed it to my Aero Road. And then we begin the race. And here, right in the beginning, after a couple of turns, you start climbing. So I'm going to go through this first lap just to kind of describe my thinking, where I was at. We're going to skip through some of the next laps and get to the end where it gets really interesting and where Zwift tricked me. So we went up that was about 4% grade. You make a turn and another turn, and then you go up again. And you do a series of step climbs, never really getting higher than 4%, staying somewhere between 3 and 4. And I was just taking that in and thinking, because I've never been on this route before, and I was just thinking, okay, that's going to be tough. After the 6th time doing that, everyone's going to want to push. Anyone who wants to win is going to push hard. They're going to drop, and we're definitely going to split a couple of times here on this incline. So I want to stay at the front, and I actually thought it was going to split on this first lap, but actually it stays together pretty well. I stay up in the, out of 171 people, which is a lot for a race, I actually stay pretty close to the front in the 40s, sometimes drop back to the 60s, but I'm up front for the most part with the front group. So yet again, another step up, and we're turning and we're done. And we're going to go downhill, turn a few times, and then we're going to hit a straightaway to the finish. Now my heart rate was in the 170s. When I get closer to 180 is when I'm reaching close to zone 5 in my heart rate. That spells exhaustion really quickly if I don't do something about it. So right here I'm trying to get my heart rate down and keep it down. So I just reached the top on the 3rd lap. I'm noticing my heart rate's up a little bit higher than the other 2 times. Again, 178. That's right at the edge of my zone 4 to zone 5, right? I'm getting really close to zone 5. This is where I need to watch it. Now I'm noticing that people are starting to get a little more tired too. I'm feeling it, so are they. That's what I'm trying to tell myself in my brain. I'm feeling it, but they are too, so keep at it. It starts stringing out. I really notice it going downhill. The pack is stringing out. We're not as clumped together as the last couple of times were. So people are getting tired. And I think people are going to start dropping off. And actually, if you look at the map, it looks like we are getting strung out. People are dropping off a little bit, but we're still a good bunch. Okay. Now this 4th time around, going up, I finally stood up for the first time. I think it was the first time, but I stood up this time and I had to because, again, the field's getting a little bit more stretched out every lap, but we're still staying together. But as you can tell, just look at that. It's really stretched out. I'm 51st, and now I'm really fading back a little bit. I'm feeling uncomfortable with how far away I am from the front. So I stood up a few times to keep the power up. I feel like it's getting faster on every climb, and I pushed my arrow at the top in order to gain some spaces, get back to that front group. I was really scared of, like, even this, look how spread out it is. It's like there's some separation of the group going on. I didn't want to get dropped. I didn't want to lose the draft, and I didn't want to lose the top 30 people, because I felt like the top 30 were going to stay together. That's the way I was feeling. And just look at this downhill. As we hit the downhill, everyone lets off. Everyone wants a break. Everyone wants a breather, and it clumps up. So I felt good with when I used my arrow, and I was confident that on the downhill I was going to be able to get back up with that group and get back in the draft, and I did. All right, guys, so I'm going to walk you through this last lap here. Some things to note. First of all, my instruments were a little bit off. My map, the progression up top is showing me already on lap 6. I'm not, even though it hasn't started, the banner is just up ahead. Like, I'm having some things on the fritz. The map below, I'm the yellow pin. It's showing me ending the race. I'm not ending the race. So something's definitely off here with my instruments. And a guy takes off up front named Matthew, and I was like, well, I don't want to chase him down, but I want to stay with the guys that are going to try to bring up the tempo to keep him in sight. So that's what I do. I stay behind these 3 or 5 guys right here. I want to stay up with the front group on this climb, but I don't want to be in the lead. Matthew's going to burn all of his matches. He thinks he's Matthew Vanderpool. He's a few seconds ahead of us, but he doesn't get very far. Okay, so we hit this climb. My heart rate's already close to 180. We're already punching it hard. We're going 26 miles an hour to start the climb. So everyone's picking up the pace. Their watts per kilogram there on the right side. Everyone's going into orange. They're all putting down the power, trying to drop people. And I knew this was going to happen. So I'm trying to stay with the top 10, this group of top 10 right here, just behind them. So for the first time in 6 laps, I am in position 11 going up these climbs right now. I'm in good position. I'm liking where I'm at. Matthew's being an idiot up front. And I am just going to let the group reel him back in. Now, while we're doing this climb, I want to mention a few things. So first of all, on the bottom right-hand side, it says, underneath everyone's names, it says 2.12 kilometers to finish. Pay attention to that, okay? I also have the progress bar at the top. I mean, this is all customized, and it's showing me halfway through lap 6. But what you may or may not be able to see is it also shows me how far I have to the finish line. Those 2 numbers are the same, and they're off. When I get to the finish line, it is completely off, and that messes things up. On top of that, it is nighttime right now, okay? I will talk more about that a little bit later. We finally reached the top of the climb. I've been in the 180s. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Now I realize I have a draft boost power up instead of the arrow. Now, this whole time I was thinking, I thought there was supposed to be draft boosts, but I was getting arrows every lap. So I took it for granted and thought I was going to get another arrow, and I was going to just use it at the sprint of this. But I had a draft, and I had a decision to make. My heart rate's in the 180s. I'm tired. I'm going to go downhill. And they're pushing it a little bit harder than they did the last 5 laps, and I knew they would. So I made a decision. I used the draft boost right here to stay with the group and to recover. We already reeled in Matthew, by the way. He came back into the group when we hit the top of the climb because he's a dingle hopper. But here we are. I'm using the draft. Now, you're probably thinking, Jaron, you probably should have kept it for the sprint. You would have been able to use the draft to sprint to gain momentum. Yes, that's normally what I would do, but my heart rate was so high, I needed to bring it down below 180, else I wasn't going to have much of a sprint. So that's why I decided to use it now. Stay up with this front group, stay in the top 20 positions, and then just, coast down and recover. And I did. It worked. It brought my heart rate down to 174, which is zone 4 for me right now. I can get a little bit of a break. I'm no longer using all of my energy. I can recover just a bit for the sprint. With that said, here I am with a predicament. On the bottom right-hand corner, it's saying 0.6 kilometers to finish. It's saying the same thing in the progress bar up top, that blue progress bar. I also notice it is nighttime. Now, the problem with nighttime now is the last 5 laps, it was daytime. Now it's nighttime, which means it's harder to see things like finish line banners, but it's easier to see things like lights. And you're tired like I am, and you go around these last couple of corners and you start focusing on the lights. And that's exactly what I did. I start going on the straightaway. I see this beam going across the road with yellow, what looks like lighting going across, and I thought maybe it said finish. I look at the bottom, it says 0.07 kilometers to the finish. I am so confused right now. I don't know if that's the finish line or not. Now it's saying 0 kilometers to the finish. Something's off on my instruments, and so I think that has to be the finish line, right? And my brain's not working, as I would have realized it's not. But I go for it. I sprint hard, and I didn't hold it very long because I look up and realize that's not the finish line. So I back off my sprint. Then I notice the finish line banner. Then I second guess whether I should sprint again. I'm tired, I'm beat. People are flying by me now because they've started their sprints. I've already burnt my match. I can't give it much more, and now I can only hope for top 20. And that's exactly what happens. I go across the finish line defeated in 18th place. That's what happens. Ugh, Zwift tricked me, and a tired brain wasn't helpful either. But that was the race, guys. I was pretty happy with it. 18th place out of 171 riders. I'm pretty happy with that. I can't be too disappointed.
I went too freaking soon. Oh my gosh. I had a really good chance. I could have at least made top 10. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I also got a new FTP, 227 watts to 229. Pretty happy with that. It's just 2 watts higher. It's probably really meaningless, but hey, no, I did a little better, right? I'm improving. Improvement's good.